Hello and welcome back to another episode of Game Chat, ladies and gentlemen. I am one of your co-hosts, Lucas, and a good friend of mine is the other co-host, and that would be.
That would be Tom Hubbard, ladies and gentlemen. T Hubs, the rootin' tootin' samurai shooting, Elden Ring capturing gamer co-host Tom. How are you doing, buddy? What's going
Wow, that
on?
was a way better introduction than I gave myself.
I'm just trying to think of some cool ones as we go along. I feel like it might be beneficial to do so.
That is fine. A little bit improv, never hurt anybody. But we are back, and there hasn't been a hiatus Game Chat wise, but in terms of us interacting, been a little bit of a hiatus just because. You went somewhere this weekend, Tom. You were off the grid, outside of the country.
I had traveled abroad to Cancun in Quinta Roo, Mexico. I only found out right at the end that that was the name of the state in Mexico, basically. But yeah, went down to Mexico, had a vacation with my now fiance Paige. I got engaged this weekend. It was pretty lit. If for all the Bachelor fans out there, hashtag Bachelor Nation, we had a whole private dinner on the beach, surf and turf. It was literally the best lobster I had ever had. The chef came in, delivered it and stuff. I was just in bare feet in the sand. It was lit. It was lit. Go to Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, travel the world. It's cool to see other places, especially when you live in a frozen hellscape 6 months of the year out in Minnesota. It's nice to get somewhere where it's temperate and 80 with beautiful breezes. I went jet skiing in the ocean. You could literally just walk down the beach, pay a guy $60 and go jet skiing for 45 minutes in the ocean. They're like, you know how to do this? And I was like, yeah, and sent
Did
it.
you know?
Yeah, dude, jet skiing is a passion of mine, just as much as video games, to be completely honest. I try to do it any chance I can get. Paige was like, I was like, Paige, you want to come? And she's like, no, you go for it. You go for it. I've never done the all-inclusive resort thing. They just consistently there's this one guy, Moro, at the sushi bar who just kept feeding us shots. At one point, he was like, oh, hey, making this sick, cool looking drink. And I was talking to Paige. I was like, oh, we should get that next. And then he just gives it to us. He was just making the drink all along for us without us asking. It was wild. But yeah, that was my weekend. Got engaged, went to Mexico. Long story short, had a great time. What about you, my friend? What you get into? You also didn't necessarily leave the country, but I know you did some traveling.
I did. I went back to our alma mater, uh, University of Massachusetts Amherst, for a unofficial alumni weekend at our old fraternity, and just caught up with some of the boys, old and new, and that was really fun since I hadn't seen some of them since pre-COVID. So
For real, dude. For real.
yeah, it had been a while,
It's
but
always good to see the boys.
it is. It really lifted my spirits. So not quite the same weekend as you, but definitely I had a swell time.
I'm glad you did, buddy. I'm glad you did. How has your time been on this special of days, March 10th? What you been up to
Uh,
today on this
I'm gonna
day
be
of
honest,
days?
Tom. I didn't know that it was Mario Day until you told me. So, but then I was like,
Bro,
oh, that makes sense.
yeah.
You tell me every year, and then I forget that that's a thing, and then I'm always like, oh yeah, March 10th. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like May the 4th. It just works. Happy Mario Day. On this day of days, I tend to sit back and reflect on some of the great times I've had with the world renowned plumber in his misadventures. And I was wondering if you had any favorite Mario games yourself. Obviously you get the karts, you get the smashes, you got the golfs, the tennises, the soccers, the baseballs. You got all the Mario games, of course. But what are some of your top ranking choices for the plumber?
Definitely not I don't know if you call it the platforming, like the standard Mario games, because I didn't play like a bunch of those. My big ones were definitely the uh, party games, racing, and the sport ones, just growing up, like that other people would have that I would come over and play. I think Super Mario Strikers is probably like I have very fond memories of that, and I have not played that in many moons, and I don't have a GameCube, so I don't really know how I'll get to play that again. But
Have you seen the trailer for the new Super Mario Strikers Battle League coming to Nintendo Switch?
everything's on the goddamn Switch.
Yeah, dude, it's just the Nintendo system
Oh,
right now. They eliminated the need for a handheld and a console because it's both. But
shit,
they
man.
are coming out with a new one. I don't know if it has a
Oh,
release
this
date.
is coming out on June 10th.
Oh, June 10th. Right there. Yep, you're right.
10th. Dude,
This one
that's three
looks
months from
cool.
Mario Day.
Yeah, I know. They got a ton of sales out there right now for Mario Day, ladies and gentlemen. So, if some of your favorites are on sale, you can pick them up today on this, once again, hallowed day of days. I might even get a little crazy, fuck around later, throw in Super Mario 3D All Stars for the Nintendo Switch uh, put my flood backpack on, run around Isle Delfino, squirt some water at some paint, save the day and such, collect some shines. That is one of my favorites, ladies and gentlemen. Objectively, the best one, though, without a doubt, is
Like,
Mario Odyssey.
yeah. I wasn't sure which one you were gonna. You know what? There's a lot of things that I feel like could be in there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
The original 3D one I've heard is like incredible.
Oh, like 64?
64.
Of course.
Mhm.
You've never touched 64?
No.
Lucas, buddy.
I didn't have a Nintendo growing up. I went from no console to getting like a PS2 in like 2004.
Okay, facts. I mean, I feel like you know, we'll get you there one day. Eventually, we'll have to find you a Switch and or just get you an N64 at a yard sale or something. We'll get there one day. Just like how one day soon, sometime this year, Nintendo plans to open up Super Nintendo World theme park in the US, ladies and gentlemen, at Universal Studios Hollywood. This is supposed to open it next year. I say
You
this
said this
year
year.
earlier? Oh, sorry. I
That's right.
meant
The transition was
2023.
nice.
Yeah, I did my best, but yeah, it's gonna be coming next year, folks. It already opened up in Japan last year, and they, I believe, are also developing a location in Orlando as well. Is that in? Oh, okay. They're also, I guess, planning one in Singapore and a ton of different places. Next year, maybe you can be celebrating Mario Day at Universal Studios in Peach's Castle itself. Wouldn't that be wild? Want to take a game chat trip to Nintendo Land?
I'd have to brush up on my Nintendo history there, but I think we could make that happen.
They say it's pretty good in Japan, but I don't know. It could be interesting in here. Never been to Universal Studios though, so don't know what it's like there.
We'll have to hit up the Harry Potter world while we're down there.
That's true. I think they got some Spidey shit there too. And you know me, I love my Spidey shit.
Speaking of Nintendo, actually, apparently the sale of Nintendo products has been halted in the land of Russia as a form of protest to what's going on over there.
Oh
What do we think
yeah,
of this?
I was seeing that. I was seeing that. It's pretty crazy, according to CNBC right here. Sony's PlayStation division, and Nintendo have both
Mm.
stopped product sales in Russia, which is just in yet another uh, addition to the list of companies that are, of course, pulling out of there as a result of the pretty fucking atrocious shit that the Russians are pulling to the people in Ukraine. But I guess it just makes sense. I also saw that in response to this, Russia is considering, quote, legalizing software piracy as like technology because more and more companies and game companies continue to pull out of Russia.
Mm.
Basically, according to this article in Kotaku, it says Russia's Ministry of Economic Development has introduced a potential new law called the Priority Action Plan for ensuring the development of the Russian economy in the conditions of external sanctions pressure. But I guess basically is anyone can download and use pirated stuff for which there is no Russian made alternative as long as the software comes from a country that supports the sanction does not support the sanctions against Russia. But yeah, it's
Mm.
pretty wild. I guess it just makes to me it just makes sense, I guess. It just is another step in the strategy they said they were going to do, which was just like try to like literally cut Russia off from the rest of the world apparently, to just make it so they can't really fund a war. But we'll see what happens. What do you think about this? You've never been one to weigh in on the controversial.
What are you trying to say? Oh my God.
Give me some thoughts,
You
bro.
got me, Tom.
Give me some
No, I
thoughts.
was just gonna say if you want to make a change or stir something up, riling up a couple of angry gamers is sure to cause something to happen. So if those Russian gamers out there aren't getting their fix, I think they'll let Mr. Putin know about it. Maybe get him to pull out what he's doing.
I mean, yeah, they say the gamers will rise up one day and take over, so could happen sooner than we think if it keeps going this way.
Going back to just standard gaming topics, is you see you see anything else that not surrounding like a war, uh, just some more lighthearted stuff. Anything pique your interest this week?
Yeah, so one thing that came across my board this week was the fact that the much anticipated by me as a huge super fan as the season of the Batman continues to roll with the release of Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman last week. They also announced that later this year in October, the 25th to be specific, the new game Batman Gotham Knights will be releasing that day. Which, if you haven't seen it, it is basically like a Batman Arkham game, of course, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is basically kind of continuing it's almost like a spin-off. They're like swapping to a sort of alternate universe where Batman is dead and like all the sidekicks, like Red Hood, Nightwing, Robin, and Batgirl kind of all team up to fill the power gap and like prevent the villains from taking over and such. But that's going to be coming out October 25th, which will be pretty cool to see. It's got some co-op elements as well, so yet another thing we can add to our plate of the of too many games that we already have to play. And it's a little concerning that it is that date because also yet another highly anticipated T Hubs game was also just delayed by 5 months. And that game would be Forspoken. It is the Square Enix game that is written by Gary Whitta and Amy Hennig, to name a few people. But that game was delayed to October 11th, and it was initially supposed to come out May 25th. They did actually end up showing it in what kind of the main topic we'll dive into today is they ended up showing it there at yesterday's State of Play. With that being delayed and with Gotham Knights being released right around the same time, yet again, I will be forced into the first world problem dilemma that we always seem to have on this channel of having too many games, too little money, too little time.
Money is a factor, underrated. It's not always just can't get to everything. It's just can't get everything.
For real, for real. And then like even if you do get them, you feel silly because then you're like, man, I haven't even finished the last one I got, you know? Like, how long is Elden Ring gonna take, Lucas? Like years?
Potentially.
They
It's
say it
taking up
takes
all
like
my time.
they say it takes like 3 playthroughs to 100% it.
I don't even see how that's possible. Because I haven't figured out if there's like if you can make like choices. So maybe that's what it is.
So my boy Jake today was telling me because he did like the first big castle, like Stormvale.
Hmm.
He did that, and he said it was really tough, but he finally got through it. And then he said somehow he like breezed through the second dungeon, like the second main one. And he's like, I think I'm a little over leveled, but I'm just gonna do story stuff at this point. And he said to me that he's like, I think I'm hitting the point where choices might start to affect what happens later. I have no idea what that looks like. This game's massive, like, and it doesn't tell you anything. You just
Hmm.
have to stumble across stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If that takes too
Yeah.
long, I don't know how I'm going to play either of those games or any of the games that we saw in yesterday's State
Hmm.
of Play.
Oh my goodness. Killing it with the transitions today, Tom. But yes, state
Doing
of
way
play.
better than you are with the transitions.
Oh my.
Your
I'll
transitions are just
you wanna drive the bus? I'll pull over and get out.
no, we both got to drive the bus.
Oh,
I'm I'm impaired. I can't drive the bus, Lucas. That would be
oh my God.
irresponsible.
Yes, that's very true. That's a serious issue in this country. So those of you listening,
I'm too sunburnt to drive the bus.
I
If
told you to wear
you
shades, man.
if you couldn't tell,
Yes, for those of you audio only, Tom's face is horribly misshapen from his time in Cancun. Just apply that sunblock, man.
I put so much sunblock on, Lucas. So much sunblock.
The sun's a little different down there, but getting back in on track there. Yes, as you had mentioned, PlayStation State of Play was yesterday. Kind of just came out of nowhere, and I think I have a theory as to why that is, Tom.
Why is that?
So if this was something they had announced ahead of time, like well in advance, then everyone would get all hyped and be like, "Oh, we think this, and this is going to be on it." A lot of speculation, and then there would be inevitable disappointment because none of those things happened. So when they were just like, "Hey, we're doing this like right now," there was no time for any of that, and people were just like, "Okay, here it is," because a lot of stuff that was on there was non-US publishers, and there was not a lot of major anticipated titles mentioned, unfortunately. But
I mean, they definitely like are. I mean, everything. There's something out there for everyone. I'm sure many people somewhere are excited for whatever that weird dinosaur game looks like.
I was like, when they started off with that, I was just like, oh my God, what is
It's
happening?
it's just a big giant ass ball in the sky where thousands of like weird looking raptors fall out. It's so strange.
It was like there was like the plot to
Exoprimal.
like a blockbuster Hollywood film.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, oh, this is something that someone would think up somewhere and like make a movie about it. But no, it's a co-op video game.
Yeah, I mean, like don't get me wrong, it looked cool, but like I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that. All the dinosaurs kind of looked exactly the same, except like some of the like big T. I'm sure there are bosses and stuff, but I don't
Hmm.
know. That one wasn't looking like it was for me. What about you?
Yeah. No, not. I mean, I might watch like some clips, but yeah, I don't think I'll be playing that myself. But I guess I don't know. I think what they're going for is like instead of fighting like, the classic like hordes of zombies, it's just like waves and waves of raptors that you just gun down with like super futuristic tech.
Yeah.
So
And they literally like announced it. They announced it Tuesday and it took place yesterday on Wednesday.
yeah, the day before.
Yeah. So I don't know. It like there are some other things that definitely look cool in there. Like I said, Forspoken, they showed at this state of play. To be completely honest, it looks the best it has in any gameplay I've seen so far. And I was like pretty hype about it once again. Like they had she was basically like fighting a dragon like the whole freaking time in this trailer. And I'm a sucker for fighting dragons. As once again, you apparently can also do an Elden Ring, but I have yet to find a dragon. Are you excited for Forspoken whatsoever?
No,
No, really, you don't think it looks cool?
I thought it looked neat. I'm not gonna like, I have no real desire to make that purchase.
I guess so.
I mean, yeah, it seems pretty neat. I think the delay is probably like for the best.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
hopefully
a
you'll get a
delay
better product.
delay is never a bad thing, you know. I mean, delays can only give
If
you
nothing
more
gets
time
accomplished.
for sure. I mean, in theory, delays are never a bad thing. What other games did you see that you thought might look cool?
So the one thing that was shown that I had like an inkling of interest in was I just want to make sure I get this, the TMNT Cowabunga collection.
Oh, that was the only thing you were interested in?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this so like I think when I watched this, like cuz I saw like tweets and stuff about it and like posts on Reddit, but I did not realize like this was from State of Play.
Hmm.
Because I
Yeah, no,
like think I totally
it was
missed it
shown
in the
there.
video. I don't know. I don't
It
know.
was pretty quick. Like they just kind of like I think it was not on screen very long, but yeah, no, I saw that. Like in terms of like gaming news, like from today, that was like that the frequent headline was that
For
those like
sure.
I think those 13 games in total it is were going to be available.
That's pretty cool. Like 13 games is like I collections like that are really cool. I definitely have played at like probably one or two of the games in here,
Mm.
but I've like side scroll or beat 'em up type games have kind of lost my interest in, not gonna lie.
Well, that's like the arcade style because I think I remember playing one of these games. I don't know which one it was, but it was definitely on the Game Boy. That was like it wasn't a side scroller. Like it actually, you had some like freedom. Like it was like a I don't know what like a 360 degree camera, but I cannot remember what it was called. I played it at like a friend of mine's
On the
like
Game
log
Boy?
on the Game Boy. Oh no, wait. Oh no. That was on the GameCube.
Yeah, I was gonna say a
Never
360
mind.
degree camera. What?
Never mind.
What game are you talking about?
I don't remember what the name. I played it like maybe twice because it was at a friend of mine's like log cabin house, and we would go up there maybe like once a year for like a couple years. So there wasn't a
Th-
ton of experience with it, but I had a blast playing it as a kid.
There's
Don't
like
remember what it was called.
there's like quite a few on the GameCube too.
Mhm.
There's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like one and two. And then there's like the movie. Did you ever see the TMNT like game?
Yes, I have it.
Or I mean not the game, the movie. Like
Yes, I watched it.
the one it's literally just specifically called TMNT. It's
Yes,
okay. I
yes. It was actually like it was really good compared to the new one, which was like awful.
oh
Like the live
the live
action, like
action one.
animated one,
Yeah, that was
hot garbage.
an interesting take. I want to like rewatch that TMNT
The movie
movie
was good. Yeah,
because I feel like
it was
I
pretty nice.
I feel like I definitely saw it. I specifically remember like April O'Neil like finding Leonardo like hermited up in a cave somewhere.
That's like the beginning of the movie. Yeah, he's in like
It
exile. He's like getting one with his mind. He's going on like a spiritual journey.
I'm glad I did see this movie.
Yeah. We'll rewatch it sometime together, Tom.
For sure. We'll review it for a podcast, another podcast someday.
Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I actually lied. There was another game now that I'm actually like looking through the list again.
I hope
Um,
this is the same one I'm excited for.
it's called Trek to Yomi, I think is how you say that.
Oh, that one I am excited for too, but
Yeah.
that one actually looks really cool.
That one, like the like I don't know, all the hand gestures and like shit he was doing like it looked really just like I don't know, like graphically impressive. Not something I would get because should look a little scary, and
What?
I'm
You
not trying to
wouldn't
do
get
that.
this?
Nah, man, everybody had like scary I don't know what he's fighting like demons or something, whatever it was.
He's fighting like ninja and shit, bro. And then like
No,
ninja
maybe.
ghosts at one point. It definitely is like some Quentin Tarantino looking shit where it's like very bloody, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, and he's
And
got
it's
like
all
magic
and it's all black
stuff.
and white and in Japanese. And it's a side scroller, but it's like it kind of looks like
No, it was first person.
Trek to Yomi is not first person.
Wait. Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
No, it's the black and white samurai game. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, that game actually a lot of people are looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
I am not looking forward to that game and I actually completely agree with you 100%. That game does look like freaky and scary and I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was like, yo, this is like really cool. Like he's doing really cool stuff and like, but I was like, I'm not like I'll probably watch like some gameplay of that, but I'm not trying to like that was a little too much. It was like
yeah,
that's too intense,
the
man.
dude with the mask and shit, like that's some scary looking stuff. I don't need those games in my life. Like
Yeah.
most horror games, because some of them are just like grotesque. It's frankly, again, we just keep roping this. I'm just gonna keep making Elden Ring associations right now because I'm obsessed with it. It's one of the reasons I haven't really gotten into like Dark Souls games. It's because it's like brutal and grotesque, and this just look. Most horror games are like that, and I'm just like, eh. Elden
I
Ring's
didn't
a
get
little
into Dark
different though.
Souls because it was literally just too dark.
Exactly,
I was
for
like,
real.
I can't see what's going on. Like,
I need some sunshine in my life.
yeah, where so that was my big like proponent to I guess not really wanting to play the older ones. It's like I can't even see what's happening.
Did you see Trek to Yomi though? It's the
Uh
black and white samurai one.
I don't remember that being oh yeah, he that's you said that's what the side scroller.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a
No, now I know what
weird
you're talking about.
it's a side scroller, but it looks like 360. It's that 2D 3D like blend kind of thing, you know
Mm,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that game looks dope. That game looks very dope. Another game that looks like it could be fun. Did you see Gigabash?
I did see it. I didn't really know what to make of it, like most of the things in the state of play.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
all of these games were pretty out there for sure.
Oh, actually, this one I I would consider getting.
This actually looks super dope, right?
Yeah, this reminded me of like I don't know if you remember the old like Godzilla games
Like
where
Rampage
you
and stuff like that. Or Rampage was more of like a fighting game.
no like literally like I don't remember what it was called, but it was some type of like Godzilla game where you could play as like other like Godzilla like characters or whatever and like fight like two on two like in like a huge city environment that was like destructible. And this like kind of reminded me of that. So
Oh, okay. I do think I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
this gave me the similar vibes, so I would actually like I think this would be a really fun like multiplayer like thing to do.
it says we strive to make Gigabash easy to pick up, fun to watch, and more fun to play. We invite you and your friends to indulge in mayhem mode. It's party mode featuring a wacky collection of mini games. It just looks cool to like
Mm,
online play, couch co-op. Uh that's pretty sick. Oh, there's also like ranked play, which is pretty dope.
mm,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like you play as a bunch of different for those who are not gonna see the B-roll. It just is a you pick a giant kaiju character and it's kind of like top down and you just oh yeah, it literally says we drew inspiration from classic tokusatsu characters such as Godzilla, Megazord, and Ultraman, as
Mm.
well as games like War of the Monsters and Power Stone. Is War of the Monsters what you're talking about?
No, although I do have that for PlayStation 2, and that is also incredibly fun.
This
That game is
also
awesome. So like just super. It's such a good idea. Like they basically are just taking like a bunch of like lore like big monster things and they're just like, "Oh, we're going to like do our spin of it and also you're like going to all fight each other like in these huge like interactable environments."
I think so. I'm looking at a trailer right now for it, and I think that this game is available on PS4
Like a remaster.
as of 2015,
Okay.
as of late 2015,
Yeah, I
which
would
means you could
not
probably
mind
play
getting
it.
back into that.
Which means you could probably play that on your PS5.
Dude, yeah, we should like I don't know if you saw this, but Corey Barlog, like in an interview for God of War, like when talking about like I think they asked him like, oh, what's his favorite like underrated game or something? He said War of the Monsters. Like it's he did. It's really good.
Bro, it's $10
Oh,
on
dude, I'm
PS4.
telling you, man. It's like I had a blast with that as a kid.
Is it? Can you
Um,
play online?
I would hope so.
System
Like
with
there was a multiplayer component. Obviously there was no online back in like 2003, but I would think they would like bring that in.
online features require an account. Oh, it says this title has been converted to the from the original PlayStation 2 version to the PS4 system.
Well, literally, if you search Gigabash, one of the first articles that comes up is titled "Gigabash is maybe, but probably not the War of the Monsters sequel you wanted." Because there really aren't games like that. And that was kind of like this random like thing that just dropped, and then there's been like nothing like that since. So I don't know.
I don't know if the War of the Monsters on PS4 is online capable, but Gigabash 100% is. And I bet it'll totally be a PlayStation Plus game. Mark
Hmm.
my words. Like
I could see that.
I'll chalk that up to the
T
we're
Hub's
keep
prediction 2022
yeah, we're keeping
by
up
the
with
end of
the
the year.
predictions. We're gonna like count up a bunch of them at the end, and whoever has them will like go through a recap. We'll like rewatch all our episodes, and then we'll figure out whoever has the most correct by the end of the year, and there will be a winner and a
You're always looking
loser.
at gamify.
That's what we do on Game Chat, baby. We game it. We game it up.
Did anything else stand out to you?
A couple of honorable mentions for sure. Returnal got a co-op update and new content as well. Um, like a challenge mode or something. Returnal looks awesome. It's a super cool looking roguelike game. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's one of the few like true PS5 exclusives out there where like you can only play it on a PS5. Um, and it looks sick. And now there's a co-op update, which and I have friends that play that. We could play that. I'm always down for some roguelikes because those are games you can kind of jump in and out of at will. And now that there's co-op, I like totally would be more persuaded to get that. Oh geez, my camera. Here we go. Shout out Housemark. Uh big studio on the come up. Mark my words. They'll make more dope ass games. But yeah, looks sick. Gundam Evolution also looks kind of cool, but
Evolution.
also like not really. I don't know if is this free to play? Oh, closed network test. Oh, free to play.
That's available right now, actually. The network test.
Oh, for reals?
I think so. I think that's what they said is that you could get it. Like they gave the release date for the actual game, but they were just
It's
like, you
gonna
can
it's gonna
do
be
it right now.
free. Yeah, it's gonna be free to play anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always down for free to play. And this is an FPS, so who knows? Maybe it'll be cool. We have a lot of weeb friends who might be into this.
Oh my
Trevor watched Gundam.
God.
Hey, and that's coming from a weeb myself, but even all my weeb friends would call me like a normie weeb. I'm just like Naruto is like my
Oh
favorite
my
shit.
God.
Death Note's really good. Attack on Titan's dope. Uh, Gundam apparently is dope, but this is just a Gundam FPS game, so who knows? Looks like a hero shooter, 6v6 type deal.
Mhm.
Did you see that?
I saw the the footage they had.
Yeah. I mean, what did you think?
I don't know. I wasn't like super like impressed, but that's never really been my thing. So I don't know. I'm not really one to be the judge of that stuff.
What of FPSs or excitement?
Weebs, weeb content.
Oh, Lucas, there's a whole wide world to get into.
Oh my God.
Nani?
I don't even know what that's a reference to.
it's
I'm lost, Tom.
it's okay. You know, you learned about NFTs last episode. This episode, like maybe we'll get you a little cultured.
We'll just do just do a Lucas learns section of the episode. Just like the most obscure shit that doesn't make any sense,
Oh my
like
god.
NFTs.
I'm gonna try to hit that like every episode now. Gonna
Did
try
you
to
see
find
that
something you have no idea about.
did you see for the like whatever, I don't know which Insta post we did, but something, oh, it was the one where we were like saying, oh, like here's, our episode, and it was about like monetization. Like I did hashtag NFT because that was what we talked about, and all these like NFT bots like invaded the chat, and they were just like, "Oh, like here, NFTs are. You want some? They're over here, like or whatever." I was like, "Oh my God, it's real. It's horrible. It's taken over."
Dude, it's everywhere. It's
It's just like, oh,
crazy.
I
Oh
was
my
really
god, it's
afraid.
crazy. Yeah. Thankfully, none of these games look like they are gonna have any NFTs in there. Um, but yeah. Oh, speaking of more weeb games, did you see there's also a JoJo fighting game that they announced at State of Play? Do you know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is?
No.
Oh my god,
I had
Lucas.
heard of that like phrase before, but I have no idea.
It's not a phrase, it's a title.
That whatever you want to call it, that sequence of words I had heard in that order previously, but I had
Okay.
no idea what it was associated with.
So very slightly familiar. But
Very, very slightly.
well known for his charismatic heroes, striking art style, and unforgettable catchphrases, quote, Yare Yare does it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is coming to PS4 and PS5. This year marks the 35th anniversary of the original story and the 10th anniversary of the anime. Alongside these milestones, the long-awaited fighting game, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, will be released this year, Lucas, with 50 playable characters and a variety of game modes. You know, it looks like, some standard anime fighting game. How you know the standard anime fighting games? Do you don't know
I know
anything about like the
Smash. I
anime?
know
That's not an
Smash.
anime fighting game.
They're animated. They got some anime people in there. They got all those like sword boys.
You've never seen any of those, like, okay, I mean, yeah, okay, at this point, fair, but you've never seen any of like Dragon Ball Z games or Naruto games. You never played
No, I think
Budokai
I had
Tenkaichi.
Tekken at one point, which I know is a fighting
Tekken
game.
is less of an anime fighting game and more of like a fighting game, but it does, though these games definitely like pull roots from that because it is a similar, like, it's not just directly horizontal, it's also like an arena style where you can like move around it and horizontally, you know what I'm saying? Bro, we got to get you cultured in video games.
Oh my God. Listen, man, Elden Ring is taking up all my non multiplayer gaming time for the foreseeable future.
I mean, that's totally fair. That's totally fair, I guess. Did you see anything else? I like, that's kind of it for me. I didn't
Mm.
have I like That's kind of it for me.
Yeah, honestly, if they didn't mention like a God of War Ragnarok release date, no matter what was in here, I was gonna be kind of sad. So that was really all it was for me.
I'm trying to see, I'm like reading the initial broadcast, not the initial broadcast, the oh yeah, I guess they did say in the initial announcement, and I guess I totally missed that because it was such a surprise drop. It says the show is clocking in, and this is from the PlayStation blog. The show is clocking in around 20 minutes, give or take, with a special focus on highlighting great games coming from some of our beloved Japanese publishers. Though we'll have a few updates from other developers located around the world too, which is also just like, I didn't know what they meant. I guess like what I have to understand is that a state of play, like PlayStation seems to be very specific with their branding and like verbiage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like there's basically two like large showcases they do. It's basically either a PlayStation presents, like a PlayStation showcase, and they usually specifically use those words, and that's like the big wow reveals that everyone's waiting for. And then they have these, which are state of plays, which are more similar to what we saw yesterday, or they're usually focused on a specific game. They've had state of play. Their most recent one was before this was focused on Gran Turismo 7. So I guess I had to whelm myself, but I totally missed that it was going to be focused on Japanese publishers for the most part.
Yeah, in the YouTube like description, it said that, and I was like, oh, I didn't look that until after, so I was really confused like the whole time.
You're just like, where's God
But
of War?
yeah, I was like, what is happening? But and they also run like multiple state of plays a year, so we could get one in like 2 or 3 months from now.
I mean, the game's still supposed to come out this year. I know that at the end of the day, that's just all me and you are like truly waiting for. That game is a masterpiece. I was reading through the book today. Have you read any of that book?
No,
It's
I
real,
do have it. I'd
Lucas.
have to bust that
Lucas,
out.
you would like tear through it. Just literally like start it. You
Mm,
would you would like tear through it because it's just more content
yeah.
in that world. and it's basically like a like in bet it is an in between. It takes place like this book is canon. And for those of you that may not have heard of this, oh my god, hold on. Hold please.
A few moments later.
Welcome back.
Welcome, 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 Squidward. Welcome, Squidward. So, for those of you who may not be huge fans of this game, like me and Lucas are, basically, there's this book, God of War, Lore and Legends, and essentially, it is a think of like a coffee table book, right? Real interesting facts. And this is basically an encyclopedia of that game in that world. It is the giant handprint on the front. You can't tell from the video, but it's like textured to feel like the world serpent scale. And basically it essentially is the combined contents of Atreus's journal from the entire game compiled into an updated version post the game, and it is canonical. Basically, it's like an art book with like facts and stuff. There's your boys Brock and Sindri, tells you all about the 9 realms. It gives you lore on like all the different Norse stuff. They have an entire timeline that's pretty sick, and they have a whole bestiary basically straight out of the game, but it's just in the book. So if you couldn't tell, I thought the God of War release date was coming in this state of play, and I'm very angry it didn't, because that's all I want, because I know that's truly what me and you are waiting for.
Maybe next time, but we'll see. At this point, I'm hoping it's not too soon, because I'd like to at least get a good chunk of Elden Ring done, because I know when that, like, once we get the release date, I'm dropping Elden Ring and New Game Plusing immediately to get that Zeus armor at the end of the
That
game.
Oh, wait. New Game Plusing
God of War.
Oh, when they announced the release date?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Unless it's like
bro, that
6
game's
months
not.
away.
Yeah, that game's not coming until like, I bet that game's, if it's coming this year, it's going to be late November or December. But I low-key think might not come this year, to be honest. But that's just me.
Damn. Well, that's a real bummer. So we should probably end this on a more positive note, wouldn't you say, Tom?
I would say so.
Another piece of news that came out this week, gaming related, is that, and apparently this is a pretty popular website. I haven't heard of it, but it's
itch.io.
Yes, itch.io currently has a gaming bundle that is available, and all you have to do to acquire that is to don't make a donation of at least $10, and you will get this bundle, which contains almost 1,000 games, 991 to be exact, and that's a $6,000 value for like $10. That's the minimum donation again, and all the proceeds are going towards charities that provide both medical and public health support to the Ukraine people. Obviously, the site encourages you to donate more than $10, since you're getting like thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But their goal is to get $1 million in total donation funds to send those over, and I believe they're already at like 50,000, and it's only been available for
looking
like
at the
less than 24 hours.
They're actually they've already blown it. They've blown it way past that. Looking at the bundle right now, they're like inching on 4 million.
Well, hot damn. That's pretty impressive.
They're currently at 3,819,216, and $0.86. So folks, you know, it's terrible what's happening over there. You hate to see war in any kind of of essence. I know obviously this Russian-Ukraine war is not like the only conflict in the world that is happening or has been happening by any means, and it's important to recognize that as well. But you know, this one's pretty aggressive and has some just pretty large implications for the world depending on how it could go. But if you want to help those people out and get like literally a massive amount of things, it includes freaking, the bundle contains almost 1,000 games, tabletop RPGs, books, etc. If you sort by type, they have 573 games, 317 physical games, 51 game assets, 9 soundtracks, 8 tools, 10 comics, 22 books, and 2 miscellaneous, which that's in German. Capture the flag and trick or treat carta, a carta, trick or treat solo adventure. What? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that ends in a week, folks. So by the time you'll hear this, it'll be 2-3 days later. So
Yeah.
definitely if you want to get some cool games like Skatebird, which looks awesome, or Super Hexagon, or Super Hot, or Celeste, or Short Hike, or Towerfall Ascension, which is a amazing game, super fun co-op game. Definitely help out, donate. You got to give it, it's like a normal humble bundle. You got to give at least $10, but you can donate as much as you want and you get like an insane value.
Yeah, $6,000 value. So literally anything less than that, you're making out like a bandit.
Any closing thoughts you got, bro? Any wise words of wisdom you got for the week ahead?
The week ahead?
Any Elden Ring tips?
No. I'm having a really hard time right now in that town, to be honest. I need to respec like desperately, and I don't know where to go or how to do that. So try not to look stuff up, but I'm having a hard time.
You'll fight through it, bro. You got this.
Well, thank you for your vote of confidence. But yeah, if you loyal viewers and listeners out there want updates on what's going on outside the podcast, you should check out our Instagram. We post some pretty cool stuff on there from time to time, and that's a great way to interact. We ask questions now sometimes, and we want to get some answers. So if you want to talk some gaming stuff, that's a place to go. Game chat _Tom Lucas. It's a good time. So
We really gotta start streaming. We have the technology to
yes,
do so. We just need to make time to play the games and find a time we can do that, and also offer to play games with you and feature it in our streams. So the only way you're going to know about that is if you follow our Instagram, because that's the only way you're going to know that we're starting that and find out the info about that. So please, at game chat _Tom Lucas. And if you want to get the best experience of this podcast, check us out on YouTube. Give us some views, subscribe, give us some likes, share it with your friends. It's always a good thing to do. If you like us, feel free to support this podcast, this group of guys who just like the games. So yeah, with that, peace out.
and we'll see you next time.